Hi everybody, welcome to session 4. This meeting is going to be all about finances. Yeah, we're going to talk about some money because you know what? Ultimately, if you're working towards getting a job or going to university or starting a business or whatever it is, at the end of the day you're hoping to make a half-decent paycheck. So let's take a look at how we can make that the best possible situation. Anytime you're looking at running a business, obviously there are normally going to be a lot of costs involved. So the things we're going to look at today are going to be keeping your product costs down, keeping your operational costs lower, and also how to manage your money when it's coming in and how to manage your product. So as far as helping to lower your product cost, what that means is the stuff that you're going to be selling. If you were to open up a shop on a high street, you'd be bringing maybe lots of clothes. If you were going to be a clothing retailer, that would literally cost you hundreds of thousands of pounds before you even open the doors. Now, I don't know how you are about being in debt and things, but it's something that I'm not comfortable with, and it just puts way too much stress on us. And you know, in the business world, you don't have to start at that level. You can find ways to make money and kind of work towards your goal if that's what you really want to do, and find a situation where you can have the money up front. When you don't have a lot of money though, there are also a lot of neat things you can do. Like with the concept that you're working in right now, selling the Triangle card as a fundraiser. Now, we've actually arranged an agreement where you don't have to pay me anything for the cards that I'm going to give you to sell until after you've sold them. Now, this is a great concept because if you don't sell any, guess what? You're not out any money. You can just send me the cards back. So there are more and more companies today that are actually willing to do that. I don't know if anybody golfs, but there's a big company out there called TaylorMade Golf Products. And their entire company has gone to this policy, which is unheard of for most manufacturers. But as soon as people start setting a trend, it starts trickling down. The other thing you could do, of course, is if you were looking at creating a product from scratch, you could actually come up with some designs for something and send it to a manufacturer. And normally they'll make you up some sort of mock-up productions before it ever gets created. And they'll usually do it for free. Now, once you have these products, you can then go to a major retailer, like Asda or something like that, sell your product to them before it's ever created, take that order that you now have, and show it to the manufacturer company, and it's surprising how they're happy to do all the work before they ever receive any money. Because when you have the backing of a big company like that, everything's taken care of. You don't really have to worry about it. You can find ways to negotiate those deals where you have not spent a penny yet, other than maybe some time and travel and so on and so forth, and you can literally make millions of pounds without spending any money at all. So if that's something you're really looking into, then check online again. You can find all sorts of neat resources. Or if you're stuck, feel free to give me a call. I love talking about money. That's never been a problem. The second thing we're going to talk about is how to keep your costs of operation down a little bit. Now, most of us, if we're starting a company, really don't need to have an office. Most of us can work from home, or all you need is a computer space, usually a telephone number. And if you really need an official address, you can even buy something called a virtual office now, which will provide you an official-looking telephone number and address where all of your information can be sent, and then just sent to you via snail mail through the post. So that's definitely one way you can keep down your costs. Other things you can do, of course, and a system that's becoming more popular, as it was back maybe 1,000 years ago, maybe not that far, but yeah, back definitely a while ago, is a system called the barter system. And this is where we can actually trade services with different companies to keep our costs down. So a good example of that would be, say, in your marketing ideas that you had from the last meeting. Maybe you wanting to print a bunch of posters and put them up around the school. Well, somebody's got to pay for those posters, and if you don't have the money to do it, maybe what you can do is talk with the person that's going to print them, whether it's a print shop or your school or whatever, and find out if maybe there's some service that you can offer them in exchange for the work being done. So maybe at a print shop, maybe they need their front windows washed. Now that might only take you 10 or 15 minutes, but it's a service for that company, and maybe they're willing to negotiate with that. My word of advice though is make sure you make all these negotiations before you have any work done. Because once you've had, say, the printing done, it's pretty tough to negotiate out of using money. So make sure you make all those deals beforehand. And the last thing we're going to talk about really quickly is, what do you do once you start selling product? So in the case of our fundraiser, we're going to be selling the Triangle card. How are you going to manage the money that's coming in? Who's going to take care of it? Do you need some sort of a ledger system so that you know how many cards you started with, how many are being sold, how many are left, how much money there is? Some way you have to find a way to create some sort of a spreadsheet perhaps where you can see all those balanced numbers so that you know that everything is in perfect order. Because unfortunately, like most businesses, if it's not in order, you're the people that are going to have to pay the cost for it, and ultimately that money will come out of the money that you raised for your fundraising campaign. So I'm not going to really give you an idea, because there are so many out there that you can use, and you can probably just create something on your own or check online and find some sort of spreadsheet that can do everything that you need to. But you definitely want to get that created right away before you ever start any sort of sales or product coming in. So make sure that it's jumped on today. All right, that ends this meeting. We'll see you in the next meeting. Have a great day.